How long was your shortest relationship and why did you break up? 2 months. He became super clingy and started being emotionally manipulative after I broke it off and blocked him. He started stalking me for a bit and threatened me through friends. We were in high school back then, so I just told his mom she was a nice person and that fixed it. 2 weeks. We rebounded with each other and quickly realized our friendship was very much just friendship and dating was weird. We're still very close friends 14 years later. 3 days. I was in 4th grade and my GF kicked me in the shin every time I wouldn't hold her hand. Finally, my parents complained to the principal after seeing all my bruises. Lol. Alas, it was never meant to be. 40 minutes. Was asked out as a joke at 13. A month. The person went through my phone while I was in the shower one night. Would get really mad that I questioned her on it. Tried to make going through my phone sound like it was a good thing. Then got mad at me for wishing her happy birthday too late in the day on a busy work day. Then told me she's going to break up, and I agreed with her happily. Turned out she didn't want to and was just threatening to, but I was already done with it by then. Lol. 15 minutes. I was in kindergarten, and he was already holding another girl's hand after I got gum. About a month. Found out he was into underage girls when he told me he liked the fact that I have small tits because it makes me look even closer to 13. A couple of weeks. She asked me permission to go shopping with a friend, which I thought was ridiculous. I laughed and told her I wasn't her dad and that she didn't need to ask permission for anything. She stopped talking to me after that. 3 months. She was an adrenaline junkie. Skydiving, base jumping, playing with fire, dirt bikes. We got along well and had genuine affection for one another. But I just felt like I couldn't keep up with her and she didn't want to let up on the frequency of her death-defying, so she broke up with me. But it was a nice and pleasant breakup that didn't really weigh on me too much. 2 weeks BC I was a virgin and wouldn't sleep him, so he dumped me. Bye guy. 2 months or so. We both were completely in love with each other. But we had some major differences regarding our beliefs. We both wept as we were breaking up. 2 weeks didn't like the way my dog barked. She was beautiful. 5'7" perfect as tall, single, long blonde hair, tiny gap between front teeth which I find really sexy. We had known each other for about 6 months, had dinner, drinks, sat in her car for hours chatting. One evening, we're on my sofa and started kissing. Spent the next I don't know hour and a half or so, just kissing. I'm in love with you, she said. I replied that I too was in love with her. Next morning, I got a text. I made a mistake. Just one more kick in the nuts that has made the utterly broken man that I am now. In high school I dated someone for like 6 weeks. She says she broke up with me because my friends and I spoke pig Latin. I thought that was hilarious. All these years later still do. 4 days. Apparently my mom told her off for taking advantage of me. About a month. He mentioned to me he didn't care much for sex, but wasn't asexual BC, he still had some drive. I have a fairly high drive, so I got a little worried about it, but I didn't want to just give up. After we did have sex, he said something about just waiting for it to be over with. It crushed me. I ended up splitting with him after that. An hour I panicked and realized I didn't want to be with him. 2 months. He dumped me when I told him to stop making negative racial jokes targeted at Latino and Asian PPL. 6 days I think? On the 6th day she told me, "You've changed." I had just gotten out of a slightly long-term relationship with a crazy woman and that statement set off alarm bells. 1 month. We were friends for years prior. He broke up with me. He said he couldn't give me what I wanted. I guess he meant a relationship. He was still in love with his ex-wife, who left him for another man. After I got over the hurt, we became friends again. All of this was 15 years ago. As far as I am aware, he's never had a relationship since.